What's up everybody and welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to successfully farm your boy Fantastic Pegasus, the brand new character in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And as most of you guys know, I actually created a whole farm video already, but this is my ultimate guide for Fantastic Pegasus, where I'm going to be showing you guys 3 individual decks that you guys can use in order to farm Fantastic Pegasus. Be sure to go to the description down below and check out the 3 different deck lists. I'll put the timestamps in the description down below, and I'll also put the deck list down there too, but be sure to watch the entire video so you know how to successfully use these farm decks correctly and all that good stuff. Nonetheless though, if this video helped you guys out by any means, be sure to go hit that like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content and other content from me. I'm planning the release of Duel Links, Link Evolution, and other side videos and all that good stuff, so be sure to go check those out when they drop, and be sure to subscribe so you get notified about them. But of course you can wait to like and subscribe on my channel until you watch the entire video and all that good stuff right there. But without further ado, let's go into the breakdown of all 3 decks. Now, the first deck I'm going to be showing you guys real quick, and I'm not going to take too much time on this first one, is because this is a little bit of an enhanced version of my raw farm deck that I showed in my previous video. If you want a full guide on how to use this deck properly, I'll pop it up on the top right corner over there, so be sure to go check that out. But there's a little bit a different version of this, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to properly use the Arrivals version. If you have double summon, use double summon instead of Arrivals, but I just want to show you guys how to properly use this version, because Arrivals is a rare card and all that stuff. Another thing that I changed up with the deck is that I added a Massivemorph. I'll pop up the comment on the screen to show you guys who recommended Massivemorph to me. Thank you for recommending it to me. And I'll also pop up on the screen right now the homie who told me how to properly use Arrivals for this farm, because I did not tell you guys properly how to use it and all that stuff right there. But yeah, this farm deck works just as fine. I was able to do it I was able to successfully farm Pegasus yet again with this farm deck. So I'm going to go head to the duel replay right now. We're going to do a cut, and I'll show you guys how to use this on the final turn. Like I said, if you want a full guide on how to farm Pegasus successfully with this deck from start to finish, check the full farm video Pegasus, or the farm video that I made for Pegasus, my first one. But yeah, this is just me showing you guys how to successfully do it on the final turn. So on the final turn with this raw farm deck, if you're going to be using the Arrivals, and Anti-Magic Arrow combos, what you're going to do is on your final turn, you're going to draw your last card. Next up, what you're going to do is go through your Golden Ladybugs that you have. You just at least need 1 Golden Ladybugs in your hand, and then you're good to go. You're going to normal summon your 1 Golden Ladybug from your hand onto the field. You're going to follow up with activating Wormbait to special summon 2 Wormbait tokens, and then you're going to follow up with using Creature Seizure to give your Wormbait token and trade it out for Pegasus's monsters. This is just so that we can get a 0/0 monster on the field, so we can deal a bunch of damage to Pegasus. Next up, what we're going to do is you're going to go to your battle phase and make sure that this thing in your settings, activation conversion, is on a toggle button, and then a little toggle button will pop up right over here where I'm circling, and you'll be able to click the toggle button and turn it to on. When you go into your battle phase, what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to first activate Arrivals, and then you're going to want to follow with Anti-Magic Arrows, and make sure that you have 2 open slots in your back row in order to use this. If you have 2 face down trap cards in your back row, this will not work, and that's why I recommend the double summon version over this version. But this is still an option that you can do if you do not have double summon and all that stuff right there, or if you have Arrivals and Hatred Aid, run that, because that could work too. Anyways though, you're going to be doing that. You're going to activate your Arrivals, follow up with the Anti-Magic Arrows. I've mostly been using Anti-Magic Arrows though for the prismatic bonus, because I found out too that you don't really need to get rid of Pegasus's back row. So at the same time, if you don't have Anti-Magic Arrows, you don't need to run this if you really don't want to. I've just been using this for the prismatic bonus. Anyways though, you're going to summon, the chain's going to go through, Anti-Magic Arrows will activate, Arrivals will activate, you're going to tribute off your monsters, give your Winged Dragon around all of your life points, and then go for game right there. That was a lot of damage, and that's how I was able to farm Pegasus with Arrivals. Still, at the end of the day, for the most part, the Anti-Magic Arrows is just pretty much a fodder for some extra prismatic bonus, since I have the prismatic Anti-Magic Arrows. Next deck, let's get into it. The next farm deck that I used was from ItsBradazHD. If you want to check out his little farm video on this deck list, you guys can go check it out, top right corner over there. And his farm deck that he had was really cool, and it's using one of the new cards from the recent box, this card. So we have the Guardian, and I call it Eat Them Oreos, because I do not care to try to learn how to pronounce that word. 20 million people have told me how to pronounce that word, but I don't care. So we're going to call this card Guardian Eat Them Oreos, rocking the brand new equip spell from the recent Guardians of Rock mini box. And overall, this deck list is pretty cool. So the deck list is 2 copies of Guardian Eat Them Oreos, 1 copy of Gravekeeper's Vassal, 1 copy of Anti-Magic Arrows, 2 copies of Union Attack, 2 copies of Mask of the Accursed, 3 copies of Howard, whatever this thing is. I'm not even going to even attempt to make up a name for it. 3 copies of Glass Slippers, 1 copy of Secret Pass of the Treasures, 2 copies of Drowning Mirror Force, and then 3 copies of good Goblin's Housekeeping. When it comes to Guardian Eatos and this equip spell, they are both from the Guardians of Rock mini box. When it comes to Glass Slippers, it is from the Dimensions of Wizard mini box. If you want to get Drowning Mirror Force, you're going to have to get this from the Gaia Genesis box, but Drowning Mirror Force is not a need. You can run some other draw cards if you do not have Drowning Mirror Force. Right now, we're rocking 3 copies of good Goblin's Housekeeping, which is from the Dawn of Destiny box. We're rocking 1 copy of Gravekeeper's Vassal. You can get it from ranked duels or in his ZU level up rewards. Try to get the ranked duels one so you can get a glossy Gravekeeper's Vassal for the extra points. Rocking the anti-magic arrows only because of the fact that it's just for the extra bonus points. For not needed, you can replace this with a draw power, or you can rock this different spell card that I don't remember the name of, but I'll flash it up on your screen because it's like this card where if you equip it to a machine monster, it cannot attack, so it's good against Toon Cyber Dragon. Rocking 2 copies of Union Attack. You can get this from Yugi Moto, or you can use it with some PvP or just SR tickets. 2 copies of Mask of the Accursed from the Ultimate Rising box. If you don't have this, then replace it with some draw spells, but I'd strongly recommend to get this card because it's pretty decent. And there you go for this deck. Rocking Restart, and then let's go into the duel replay so I can show you guys how to properly use this deck in order to farm Pegasus and all that stuff, and I'll tell you what you need to watch out for and all that jazz. So in this farm, I went first, and basically the gist of this farm is that we're going to be using our equip spells to stop Pegasus from attacking us, because like I've said in my previous farm video, and I probably should have mentioned earlier in this video specifically, is that you got to really watch out for Toon Gemini Elf. Toon Gemini Elf, when it inflicts any points of battle damage to you, it'll force you to discard a card, and that opens up the possibility of you missing out on being able to successfully farm Pegasus, because if you run out of cards, or not if you run out of cards, but if you lose one of your main materials, like for example, if Pegasus made you discard Secret Passage Treasures, good luck getting the 8,000 score. So here we are, we're using Drowning Mirror Force, and we have a Glass Slippers in hand, which is really good. And basically what's nice about going against Pegasus is the fact that you don't need to worry about his monsters real quick, because since with the Toon monsters, when he summons his Toon monsters, he's not able to attack immediately. So this gives you the opportunity to be able to equip your equip spells to his Toon monsters before they can attack into you. This means that, yeah, you can just, on your next turn, after he summons like a Toon Summon Skull, Toon Cyber Dragon, Toon Gemini Elf, you can use your Glass Slippers, you can use your other equip spells to stop him from attacking you, which is really nice. Next up, we have Glass Slippers, so we're going to go equip it to his monster. His monster loses 1,000 attack, and it cannot attack us directly, which is really nice, and we're basically good to go from here. What Pegasus will do, though, since you are equipping spell cards to his monsters, he's going to be able to tribute them off in order to get rid of this spell card. So that's why you're going to be running a lot of these equipped spell cards to stop him from attacking you, which is pretty nice. So yeah, since he tributes off to Toon Cyber Dragon, we're going to need to equip another Glass Slippers into it, and we're just going to make him just stop being able to attack us. Tributes it off again. Good thing we got another Glass Slippers. We have a Drowning Mirror Force face down, so even if he tributes off this Cyber Dragon, we're able to use Drowning Mirror Force when we need to, and overall this is really good. Now keep in mind, Mask of the Accursed is very important for this, and I'll show you guys up soon, because whenever he summons his Millennium Eyes Restrict, his Fusion Relinquish monster, which he is right now, Mask of the Accursed is going to be great to deal with his Millennium Eyes Restrict because of the fact that we can equip it to his Millennium Eyes Restrict, and due to the fact that Mask of the Accursed, the controller of the equipped monster, takes 500 points of damage during each standby phase, make sure that Pegasus is going to try to get rid of his Millennium Eyes Restrict as soon as he can so he doesn't lose the duel. So what we do right here is that we equip the Mask of the Accursed to his card, and we're just going to hope that he tributes it off, which he did right here. He went into his Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Next up, we have this card right here, and what's super nice about this equip spell is that it actually destroys Pegasus's Toon monsters, and due to that, after the 2 turns, the monster gets destroyed, and you get to add this card back to your hand, which is super nice. So this is also another card that you can use to get rid of the Millennium Eyes Restrict, which is nice. Anyways, though, as you can see, your boy is going to keep summoning all of his Toon monsters. We're just going to equip them all out. He did summon a Toon Goblin attack force, and I believe the next turn afterwards, I do use my Drowning Mirror Force, so I do lose out on one of my equip spells. Not the end of the world right here. Use my Drowning Mirror Force, go for that direct attack, set down my good Goblin's Housekeeping, let thin out my deck to make sure that Pegasus doesn't deck out before me, and we're going to be good to go. From this point on, though, I start setting down my equip spells because I just wanted to just keep these cards in my hand just in case of anything bad happens, so I didn't feel like discarding my equip spells at the moment, so that's what we do right here. I did discard my Mask of the Accursed. I just kind of want to just have at least a couple of equip spells to get rid of these Toon monsters and all that jazz right there. But pretty much here is smooth. We're smoothing. Everything is going well. I use my good Goblin's Housekeeping to draw the last 2 cards, put that back to the deck, and then on the final turn, what you're going to do is that you're going to special summon your 2 Guardian Eatos, because with this card, you can special summon this card if you have no monsters in your graveyard. So we summon these 2 cards in order to get 500 attack on the board. We normal summon our Gravekeeper's Vassal, follow up with the Secret Pass of the Treasures, use 2 Union attacks to get some of that prismatic bonus, and make us able to get a lot of attack. Go for that. We go for the anti-magic arrows to get that prismatic bonus, and then we get over 10,000 points of damage. Easy peasy, just like that. This farm deck is actually super cool and unique, and thank you, Brad, for showcasing this and making a video on it. So yeah, be sure to go check out Brad's video when you get the chance. Last farm deck I'm going to be showing you guys is from Duel Links Meta's website, and I'm kind of like iffy on this farm deck. Like, this farm deck does work, but there's a couple like things that I have issues with it, and the biggest issue that I have with this farm deck is the fact that, one, for any of you guys out there that are free to play only, you're definitely not going to be able to build this deck because of the 3 Silent Magician, but that's kind of like a double-edged sword. So what I like about some of the structure decks in this game is that you're guaranteed to get the certain cards if you do buy out the structure deck, so there might be a good amount of you that can play this deck because you're willing to spend just like, what, 10 bucks, 10, 15 bucks for guaranteed a Silent Magician, so that's pretty good. But at the same time, for anybody that's like dedicated to being free to play, this will not work out for you. But the bigger issue that I have with this farm deck is the fact that basically I was not able to get 8,000 score from it. The farm deck is pretty quick, it's pretty simple to use, but the issue is it's like it didn't give me 8,000 score. I have considered throwing in the anti-magic arrows because I think if I did, then I was able to, or I would be able to get that extra amount of prismatic points for the 8k score, so I guess I'll have to try that out at some point. But yeah, basically this farm deck is pretty straight to the point. The objective of it is to summon Silent Magician as quick as you can. So basically we're using this skill from Lumis and Umbra called Light and Dark. Basically what you can do, and the only one that we're going to be using in most cases, is that if we return a dark monster from our hand or deck, then add from your deck to your hand 1 light monster with the same level and type as the monster returned. So basically we return one of our 4-star Spellcaster dark monsters to search out for a Silent Magician, and then what you do is you use cards like Gravekeeper's Recruiter and Legion the Fiend Jester to basically summon it, tribute it off, and then basically summon your Silent Magician, and then use these 2 cards within your deck to get Faster and Pegasus. And what you want to do is you want to get 2 different Silent Magicians on the field so you can negate all of Pegasus spells, because Pegasus only has spell cards in his deck, so we can negate them as quick as we can. So that's why we're using this farm deck right here. This farm deck is easy to use, but like I said, it's not going to give you 8k, sadly. But let me go show you guys how to successfully use this deck, because it is pretty easy to use in my opinion. So one segment I forgot to record in this video, so I'm doing it now, is the cards that you absolutely need and potential replacements if you don't have certain cards. The cards that you absolutely need is 3 copies of Silent Magician. You need to have Secret Passive Treasures and Union Attack. You need to have Gravekeeper's Vassals, and these are like the absolute needs. You also do need a Gravekeeper's Recruiter to thin out your deck. Luckily, this card is a free-to-play card to get. You can use your SR tickets or ranked duel stuff to get Gravekeeper's Recruiter, and other than that, you should be good to go. Most likely, you'll have Ancient Sorcerer and the Illusionary Gentleman, because these are, like, this one's from the Sorcerer Alliance structure deck, and then this card right here is from that event. So actually, if you do not have these cards, then I just recommend to go to your search thing right here, search up for level 4-star Spellcaster, and make sure that it is a dark attribute, and then literally you can just pick any one of these from this list right here. So yeah, if you want to get, Sorcerer of the Doom, is this a, okay, that's from the mini box right there. If you want to use Sorcerer of Doom, go ahead, you can use this card as long as it's a 4-star dark Spellcaster monster. That's all you need. I threw a Dark Elf in here because I didn't have 3 copies of Legion the Fiend Jester. It's like a 2000 attacking monster, so why not? So yeah, if you don't have any of these 4-star cards, just run any 4-star dark Spellcaster monster that you're able to, like, normal summon, of course, and all that jazz right there. So keep that in mind with using this farm deck. And also Light and Dark, I believe it is a ranked PvP skill, so, or a skill that you have to unlock yourself. So if you don't have that, then of course this deck's gonna be a lot harder to use. I recommend trying out Restart if you don't have Light and Dark, only because you can, like, restart your hand and hopefully open up with Silent Magician and all that stuff right there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck list. Not too hard to build in my opinion, but in some cases I could definitely see why people wouldn't be able to build it. Also, I should have said this during the deck list portion, but if you want to check out Duel Links Meta's website, go check it out. Link in the description down below. It's a very useful website for all your Duel Links needs. It has leaks, it has farm guides, it has deck lists, it has all stuff that you need. And that's where I was able to find this. So yeah, basically what we do right here is that we actually top decked into a Silent Magician, but in order, I wanted to utilize the skill so I can get 2 Silent Magicians out, so I returned my Ancient Sorcerer from my hand into the deck to go out into Silent Magician. Next up, what we do is that we summon into our Gravekeeper's Recruiter, tributes an off for our Silent Magician, then we use Gravekeeper's Recruiter effect to search out for another Gravekeeper's Recruiter. Next up, Pegasus is going to activate Toon Whirl. I'm just going to negate that right away just because I don't want Pegasus to summon any Toon monsters, and then Pegasus was like, well, looks like I ain't doing nothing this turn. And then what I did is summon another Gravekeeper's Recruiter, tributed off for a Silent Magician, and then we get into a Gravekeeper's Vassal. And literally just the rest of this duel is just me negating pretty much everything that Pegasus has. Nothing special special at all happened, I just kept drawing. If he activated a card, I would negate it right away because I have 2 Silent Magicians on the field. He activates multiple different relinquish monster or relinquish spells, and I just negate that too. And just all in all, I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna deal with this. Now, one thing to keep in mind too is that when you do top deck into your spell cards, since we're only rocking 3 spell cards, we're rocking 1 Secret Pass of the Treasures and 2 Union attacks. I recommend you to throw them face down immediately because Pegasus has no back row removal, and this is going to help us out for when we need to get that over 10,000 points of damage, because then we can keep a bunch of these cards in our hand to give our Silent Magicians a ton of attack. Just remember to never discard your Vassal and discard the rest of these cards if you want to, when you need to, and just throw down your spell cards and face down defense position right there. But anyways, yeah, he activates Relinquish Infusion. Just going to negate it. I don't really care too much. Get that out of here. He activates a Black Illusion Ritual. I negate it. I'm just going to get it out of here. I think there is a possibility that Pegasus might have a ton of, relinquish materials in order to stop you, but from my personal experience, it did not happen. But yeah, I don't know. Like, out of the 3, I do not recommend this farm deck as much, but it's still a neat concept nonetheless. But anyways, yeah, we just negated it again. It's just a negate fast right here. We don't have to worry about nothing. And also, just to keep an... Actually, never mind. I was about to say something, but I already said it in the video. Never mind. We good. But yeah, just keep throwing down face down cards. You're good to go. Keep drawing into cards to make sure that your Vassal is, kept safely. And be sure to go, just keep going from there. And as you can see, like, yeah, he just summons another Black Illusion Ritual. We're just going to negate it real quick. And all that jazz right there. So on the final turn, how you're going to be able to successfully farm against Pegasus is what you're going to do is that you're going to summon your Gravekeeper's Vassal, activate your Secret Pass of Treasures, and then follow up with using both of your Union attacks on your Gravekeeper's Vassal. Gravekeeper's Vassal is going to have more than enough attack to attack Pegasus for game, and thanks to you having 6 cards in your hand, both of your Silent Magicians are both going to have 4,000 attack points each. Well, that's going to be it for today's farm guide video. Hope this video was able to help you guys out. And if you watched to the end of this video and you haven't already, be sure to go hit that like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh related content. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. Thank you so much for watching this farm guide for Fantastic Pegasus, and I'll see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, peace.